Have you ever woken up in the morning dreading the next interaction that you're going to have with your partner? Not because of what you did, but because of what they might accuse you of today? Have you ever found yourself making excuses for your partner's behavior to your friends or your family? Or have you ever felt that your relationship is holding you back from blossoming into the best version of yourself? All of these might be clear signs that you are in a toxic relationship. And the cost? Not just your happiness, but your potential, your self-esteem, and your future. I am Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist, and I show you how to build better relationships. Shout out quick to all the members who support me in this channel. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And all you new viewers who are just joining us for the first time, I'm glad you're here. This video is going to be a roller coaster, so buckle up. I want to show you everything. Now, a toxic partner can be hard to spot, or I should say, hard to confirm. So if you think you're looking at a toxic partner, and if you're not sure and you're seeking clarity, I'm about to show you the top signs to look for, as well as the biggest reasons that you need to handle this issue now, so it doesn't hold you back from realizing your full potential in relationships or in your career if they drag you down with constant drama. So here we go. Now, if you are with a difficult partner, you might wonder if you're really the problem, or if things are really as bad as you make them seem. And even if you accept that they are the issue, you might wonder if you're jumping the gun to just get away from them. So I'm going to make this very clear for you. Based on my 15 years of training and experience working with the most extreme couples cases, I'm going to show you how things are legitimately bad so that you can stop second guessing yourself. Now, to do that, let's dive deep into the top 5 telltale signs of a toxic partner and unravel what they really mean. The first sign is emotional manipulation. This means twisting your words, gaslighting, lying, telling you that you are confused, it didn't happen that way, or guilt tripping you to gain the upper hand. Think about somebody in your life. I had a client, for example, one time that her husband was always telling her, no, you're not remembering that right. Nah, I didn't say that. I wouldn't have said that to you. And when she did have something, she had video proof, he'd say, oh, so now you're recording me? Now it's not enough? Now you don't trust me? He'd twist her words. Then it was, well, I just don't know how to win with you. If you're just recording me all the time now, you're a paranoid. I don't even know what to say to you. Constant manipulation. She could do nothing right, and everything was a fight to the death. Sound familiar? Emotional manipulation. Number 2 is constant, harsh criticism. This is continual nitpicking and putting you down under the guise of jokes, or it's for your own good. I'm helping you understand where you're limited so you can grow. But it's, wow, you're stupid. That was stupid. What the heck were you thinking? That's ridiculous. Really? This is the best you could do? No, that's fine. That's all right. Really? This is the meal you serve me? Okay, I guess I'll deal with it. Constant criticism all day long, especially as a means of just venting their stress at you. I had a client with a female partner who he was always afraid of her constant ripping him apart. Nothing he did was ever enough. No date was ever good enough. No outfit was ever good enough. He never made enough money. Nothing was good enough. There was no kindness at all. The third sign is jealous and possessive behavior. Now, this is overbearing jealousy about everybody in your life. It could be checking your phone. It could be having double standards about when you're allowed to go out, who you're allowed to talk to, or dictating who you're allowed to spend time with. I even had one client whose husband wouldn't let them go to therapy because they were afraid of what the person might say in therapy about them and had to control that. They weren't allowed to talk to their family because they were afraid of what they might say. Constant possessive behavior and control and micromanaging. I've actually seen this a number of times, managing who you're allowed to speak with and when you're allowed to speak. Now, number 4 is neglect and emotional unavailability. They are dismissive, they're neglecting of your emotional needs, or they make you feel like you are always overreacting or always a burden. It's constantly, whenever you ask for help. Whenever you have a need, or you're hurt, or you're sad, or you're scared, fine, I'll deal with you. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Why would you do this? Why would you pick this moment? Constantly pushing you back where you're not allowed to be a human being. I had a male client whose wife was this way. Any sexual initiation he tried? Why? Not today. Why would you even ask me this? You want more connection? No, we did that last week. And it wasn't just that her needs weren't fulfilled, it was that he was shamed for even having needs. Now, number 5 is threats and ultimatum. It could be threats of self-harm. Hey, if you do this, I'm going to hurt myself. That's often a specific personality disorder, but it could be threats of ending the relationship. Okay, I guess we don't see eye to eye. Fine, we're done. We can just end it right now. That's fine. Constantly over the tiniest thing. It could be other scare tactics to control and manipulate you. Every little thing. Well, if you do that, then we're going to end the relationship. If I have a therapist, if I talk to my mom, if I talk to my sister about the day, if I have a friend, it's all an ultimatum. I had one client whose husband would not allow her to go outside of the house to see her friends because he couldn't hear what they were saying about him. And if she tried to go out, okay, I'll just divorce you. That's fine. We have a prenup. No negotiation, no talking, no care, straight to threats. Now, do these 5 things sound familiar? The more of these that you are experiencing, the more serious your situation most likely is. Now, I will say this. A lot of people who face these issues wonder, first, if they should really make a big deal about it. You might blame yourself for the other person's issues, especially if they've been telling you all along that you deserve the treatment. Or maybe you are used to these behaviors from your parents in childhood. You might be wondering if it's really a big deal to stay with this person. After all, you probably love them, right? And they might love you. It's okay. So let's talk instead about the hidden costs you're going to face of staying with somebody toxic who treats you this way all the time. Being with someone like this all the time, it's going to erode your sense of self-worth. That constant criticism, the manipulation, the degradation breaks down your confidence. I had one client who had a vibrant personality. She was so happy. She was an entertainer for her profession. She was so happy and alive, and got with this guy who ground her into the dust, where she could hardly raise her voice to speak in conversations after 2 years of a relationship. Don't let that be you. It also can create an intensified trauma response. So being in a state of constant anxiety all the time can lead to trauma reactions where you feel unsafe. It doesn't have to be full PTSD. You can have trauma reactions to, all right, fine, we'll just end the relationship. What? Because of a sandwich? Constantly. Constant fear state. I had one client who he was always afraid after he finally, his a horrible girlfriend, she did end up breaking up with him for a different partner. He was just devastated. And anytime someone would talk to him, he was listening for double meanings to get hurt. Always waiting and hypervigilant. Now, here's one that a lot of people don't think about is stunted professional growth. If you're living under constant fear and low self-esteem, that can inhibit your assertiveness and ambition in the workplace. But you'll also have constant drama and exhaustion where you can't perform up to your best at work. You're going to be afraid and stressed all the time and not know what to do. And if that trauma response builds up, you're going to react badly to people at work. I had one client who was always afraid and stressed out by his wife so that he could never advance. His business that he actually ran started struggling and breaking down and losing money because he spent so much time fixated on her and her drama. Don't let this be you. If you've got professional ambitions, do not let them be destroyed by a partner like this. So, number 4, social isolation. Cutting ties with friends and family due to that partner's jealousy and their possessiveness. I had one female partner who every relationship in her life was ripped away. She allowed it to, but every relationship was ripped away because they didn't want a bad influence. You're a bad influence over these people. I can't have them influencing you. Only I'm allowed to influence you. She ended up totally alone. Totally alone. And then who could she go to for support to get out of this? Which really leads into the next one, reduced personal freedom. Not only do you feel trapped and unable to make decisions without approval, but now you have nobody to help you. And it feels like you're totally alone and you'll never get away, ever. I had a male client who experienced this, who felt like it was never going to end. He started thinking about suicide. Just instead of breaking up with his girlfriend, suicide seemed like the better option to get out because nothing would free him. That's terrible, you guys. Don't let that happen. Lingering resentment is another one. constant accumulating grievances leading to cycles of fights and resentment. You will become a person full of resentment and hate, and you won't like that. That's not who you are. But this person can transform you into that. This is one of the hardest things when you get out of a relationship like this, is trying to overcome that feeling of resentment and anger that you feel all the time. That can actually lead you to become more like them and control other people. So if you don't want to be like them, we've got to fix this. The next part ties right into that, and that's loss of identity. Because you model yourself not only on what your person wants over and over and over and over, but then you also become an angry, resentful version of that person. So you're an angry, resentful servant. And that's your new identity. I had a female client who came in. That was her identity after 20 years with a bad husband. And even though he died, she continued that. And she hated who she had become. And one of the worst problems that I see, one of the saddest problems, is the mental and physical health impacts of being with somebody like this. The chronic stress from a toxic relationship can lead to huge, huge deterioration in your mental health and your physical health. Even joint pain, even higher rates of cancer. The research out there, you guys, is that this is one of the worst things in the world for your health, your physical, medical health. So if you want to live a better life with your body and your health and a longer life, you need to fix this relationship if you're experiencing this. So now at this point, I want to say this. One of the hardest parts of my job is convincing people in bad relationships that you might really be better off without the toxic behaviors that you're experiencing and hurting you all the time. Think back over those key things that you stand to lose. How many of those are you willing to lose for this person? Now, I believe that you are worth a lot more than the treatment you're getting. I've never met anybody who was being abused that wasn't worth more than the abuse. You are working hard at improving and learning and growing. You're asking the hard questions, like watching this video to learn if your feelings really line up with reality. And you're facing forward in life. So what do you do if this is resonating and you want to change, but you aren't sure how? Based on all of my years spent helping people get out of these situations, I've got 3 clear steps that you need to follow to protect yourself and to start pushing for better in your life. So here are the top 3 action points if you recognize these signs. Number 1 is to seek support from trusted allies. Share your experience and your feelings with trusted friends and family and provide a grounding experience. This is the hardest part for people who've been in this for a long time because you may not feel like you have anybody. I had one client who said, "I am so alone. My husband has isolated me. No one wants to hear from me. What would I even say?" So I guided her through opening up to a couple of people she hadn't talked with. And lo and behold, they weren't angry at her when she explained where she had been and why she hadn't talked to them. They wanted to help. They felt love for her, and that made her cry because people cared. So the people that you have left behind most likely care. Get some support. Get some trusted allies. The second part is to reflect and understand your own contributions. This is not me agreeing with the person who says everything is your fault. What I mean is evaluating if your personal insecurities or previous traumas or attachment issues might play a role in accepting or even enabling that toxic partner. I had one client who realized that narcissistic person in their life, that toxic, hurtful person, only had as much power as she allowed him to have. So when she started pushing back, she fixed her attachment, she pushed back, and he collapsed because there was nothing he could do once she got strong enough. A lot of people take the attachment boot camp video course, fix their attachment, and use it to push back against toxic partners who manipulate and abuse them. That's one of the best powerful pieces of that course, and you can do that. So check out the attachment boot camp video course if you need to get strong against people who manipulate you. And the next piece is to set some boundaries immediately. Establish clear boundaries of what you will not tolerate now that you know what is toxic and what's not. I had one couple who came in and I was working with them and I laid out what was healthy and what was not and the hurtful behaviors in that relationship and how it harmed them. And I laid out the things I laid in this video, and my husband transformed because he could finally keep saying, I know that this isn't right. What you've just done is wrong. That's hurtful. That's abuse. That's gaslighting. That's stonewalling. That's manipulation. And when he could start calling it out, he had proof that it was wrong. I helped. This video can help you. So guys, I know that these steps, they can feel overwhelming, especially when you're just starting this process, especially if you need help, especially if you feel alone. If you need assistance, I am here to help. Reach out in the comments for assistance. I will be there. If you are afraid to reach out publicly, some people are, send me an email, support@adamlanesmith.com. Get some support. I'll be here to help. But the number one thing you need to remember is that you are not alone, even if your toxic partner wants you to feel that way. Remember that. Now, the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life, especially your romantic relationship. So if you've recognized these signs in your partner, remember that you have the power to change your circumstance. You deserve a relationship that uplifts you, that supports you, that cherishes you. Don't settle for anything less. Now, whether it's mending what's broken or taking a brave step towards something new, something healthier, the choice is yours. And always know that there's a community here to support you and guide you. And know that I am here to support you too. Fixing toxic situations can feel intimidating, but only when you're alone. And I'm on your side. I've got hundreds of videos here for you to watch on this channel to arm yourself with knowledge of what is and is not acceptable in your life. Use these tools to strengthen yourself. Even if you end up fixing your relationship and you love each other again, you need to follow those 3 steps that I outlined before. They will lead to a better relationship, either this one or your next one. So drop your thoughts below, share your experiences, and please remember, you have the strength to rewrite your love story. Thank you, you guys. I am Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist, and I help you make better relationships. And I will see you in the comments. I'll be there if you need me.